Channel 9 photojournalist Ryan Foles took Skydrone 9 out in uptown Charlotte this morning, and you can see the beautiful clear sunrise over the building there. Oh my gosh, it is stunning. You can see over here, this is the conditions over at Bank of America Stadium. The snow covering the field, the roof, the chairs, everything is just coated in snow. Oh my gosh. And then over here, this is Truist Field. You can see it's untouched. It's stunning just to see that view. Oh my gosh. Now, if there were little footprints there, it would be different. But right now, it's a beautiful sight. We love it.
Channel 9 Skydrone 9 is bringing you a perspective no other station can right now. Take a look. This apartment has been gutted. We did just get new information from Charlotte Fire. They tell us it took 60 firefighters nearly an hour to get this under control. And you see here what is left behind. Firefighters say they did rescue 2 people from the building along with 1 pet. 1 person had to be treated on the scene and another was taken to the hospital.
All right, time right now 7:10, and we are going live up above Independence Boulevard on Skydrone 9, checking out Independence and what a mess it is because of work that was going on in the right lanes on the inbound side. Up around Pearson, just up from Albemarle Road. So as we merge onto the interstate there, we got a crash scene, it looks like, also in the left lane. What a mess. One of the vehicles is facing the wrong direction. Independence Boulevard needs to be avoided this morning on the inbound side. We're going to have some overflow issues for Monroe. You could even use Randolph as an alternate route.
Let's go to some video from Drone Team 9 that was taken overhead immediately as we responded to this chemical spill. And a hazmat team, we're told, is here working to mitigate the remaining 30 gallons of that chemical that is apparently on the ground at the plant here. We're told that the majority of that chemical went into a retention pond that is on site. Now, this is just one of several chemicals used at Silfab, which is a solar manufacturer. And for years now, neighbors have pushed to keep the company from opening, concerned about the impact that those chemicals could have on the community in a situation like this.
Right now, I am standing at the CSX Railroad Yard off of Ramsey Street in Northwest Charlotte, where later tonight, this massive 16-foot tall, 24-foot wide, over 460,000-pound transformer will be transported from here in Northwest Charlotte to the Cowens Ford hydroelectric plant near Lake Norman. Now, this will affect the NC-73 and NC-16 commute for that overnight ride.
Going to show you, we're here on Wendover Road, North Wendover, and as you can see, protesters, dozens of them on both sides of this road here, even on the 4 corners right outside of the Home Depot. I'm going to walk down if we can just to see some of these signs. In America, the law is king. Another sign saying ICE out of Home Depot. We the people, no kings.
Yeah, for those drivers who plan on using the inner loop of the Brookshire Freeway should expect delays this weekend as crews continue to work on this damaged bridge.
The scene itself looks a lot different than it did when we got here at 4:30 this morning. The car that was crashed into the side of the Overton Row apartment complex here in Plaza Midwood now gone. Crews still working, though, to clear it up so they can open Central Avenue. The biggest work going on right now, these people working, trying to get these power poles back in shape.
As we're getting prepared for the 2025 hurricane season, we wanted folks to know what they could do to get their homes prepared for the season. What better place than a facility that can create their own hurricanes? Welcome to the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety. So tell us a little bit about what we're walking into here.
And I want to take you down to the ground and show you what that looks like. We've got just this layer of ice out here on Hamilton Street Bridge, and it's pretty thick too. So as soon as we stepped out of the car, we noticed these slick conditions, and that's something that you're going to notice too if you are headed out and about. So if you're traveling, you're going to want to take it easy, especially as you hit some of those bridges and overpasses. Now let's talk temperatures and road temperatures in particular.
And the spirit that was in us.
With drumming,
Mighty Mississippi.
Spoken word,
of the goodness of God.
and dance. These are the Queen City Senior African Drummers and Praise Dancers.
We offer God's heartbeat through the drums.
We try to have our audience feel what it is we are saying in movement.
And we try to encourage all that hear us to know that there's a higher power, as well as the importance of our culture.
Celebrating African American achievements and culture is central to this weekend's festival and to this group each day of the year.
We are important, and the wonderful and rich heritage that we have.
For these drummers and dancers, music and movement are essential to that.
It's so important to our children that they know that this that we do has inspired everything that they're hearing now.
We are still giving movement as our ancestors did.
The women are all over the age of 55. Their oldest member is 97.
Being seniors, that is an example to the younger generation that it's not over till it's over. And as long as God gives us breath and a talent or a gift, we should use it.
That talent and passion will be on display this weekend, weaved into every drumbeat, song, and dance.
We need to be seen, we need to be heard, and our history has a place and a purpose, and it needs to be out there.
Reporting in Charlotte, Elsa Gillis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
In early July, Charlotte firefighters worked in over 100-degree weather, putting out this two-alarm fire at the recycling center off Revolutionary Park Drive near Clanton Road. They spent hours getting control of the fire, but conditions like that are tough. But so are the firefighters who take them on. This is what's known as the FPAT, the Fireground Physical Ability Test. Anyone hoping to be a Charlotte firefighter has to pass it.
Sets a baseline to say you're physically fit and ready to go into the academy.
Battalion Chief John Lipsack remembers when he took this test. It was 18 years ago. He was a young recruit.
There's no more rewarding career that you can do. The largest fire department between DC and Miami on the East Coast, and we're a true all-hazards fire department here.
Now, Charlotte Fire needs more people willing to suit up.
Through attrition of retirement and adding new stations, we're adding ladder 20, ladder 17, engine 44. We can't throw the money at you like the private industries do, but the private industry isn't going to provide you the rewarding career like working for Charlotte Fire will.
The department needs to hire 150 to 200 new firefighters. We wanted a better idea of what it takes, so with the help of Charlotte Fire Captain Grant Thomas.
This vest is 50 pounds.
And again, this simulates the weight of your gear.
Correct.
I was put to the test. Captain Thomas showed me the ropes.
Then we'll come here, we'll grab our sledgehammer, and we'll hit this block down here. We'll switch hands, hit it the other way.
Now, what does this simulate right here, hitting this?
Potentially breaching a wall. So we've got a fire behind the wall. We've got people behind the wall we need to get to. So we'll climb and obviously simulate climbing a ladder. So we're going to crawl down to this little red box.
Why did you decide to become a firefighter in general anyway?
Like every little kid, they want to be a firefighter. I just never grew out of it. Saw one of my childhood friends' homes go up in flames when I was younger, and I think that was a spark that kind of said, hey, Grant, this might be what you want to do.
All 10 stations must be completed in 8 minutes or less, and there's no running.
All right, let's give this a shot. Let's go.
Go over there, grab the kettlebell. Six passes.
Finishing just over 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
You passed.
A passing grade.
This is something that you truly have to be physically fit to do.
Now, firefighters are hoping others will take a deep breath, step up to the challenge, and embrace what they say is a life-changing career.
At the end of your career, you're going to be able to say, I helped somebody.
In Charlotte, Damani Lewis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
We all know driving in Charlotte can be tricky when the weather is nice. You add some snow or ice to the equation and, well, your chances for a wreck increases dramatically. In fact, AAA says 46% of crashes are tied to bad weather. Now, the most safest choice, obviously, is to stay at home if you can, but if you have to be out, it's imperative that you use extreme caution. While some of these tips might seem obvious, they're worth repeating. Slow down. Snow and ice greatly reduce pavement traction. The U.S. DOT says you should cut your speed in half while driving in bad weather. And check your tires. As temperatures drop, so does tire pressure. Make sure to inflate them to your vehicle's manufacturer's recommended levels. Well, tread is especially important. Use the penny test to see if your tires need replacing. Insert a penny into the tread with Lincoln's head facing down. If you can see all of his head, stay at home. Avoid unnecessary lane changes. This will reduce your chances of hitting a patch of ice between lanes that could cause you to lose control. Take your time. It's not a race. But if you do find yourself sliding, avoid slamming on your brakes and decelerate. Look into the direction that you want your car to go and then start turning your wheel into that direction. This is called turning into the slide. As you feel your car starting to straighten out, gradually straighten the steering wheel. Pay attention while driving in tree lines and shadowy areas where snow or ice melts during daylight hours and then refreeze overnight, creating black ice. And then prepare an emergency kit for your car. Include things like, well, flashlights, you got ice scraper, extra blankets and clothes, you got jumper cables, and of course, your phone charger. And most importantly, use common sense. Be courteous of those around you if you have to be out. If not, stay at home. If not for yourself, then for your loved ones, or for the first responders who have to respond to crashes, rain, shine, or snow. Reporting in Charlotte, Mark Taylor, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The type of events that have been in here, anything from graduations to Elvis and
Everything in between.
Everything in between.
In the 70 years the Beauplex has been standing along Independence Boulevard, nearly every big name act has filled this dome or the neighboring Ovens Auditorium.
You name it, they've been here.
The venues opened in 1955. At the time, this Coliseum was the largest unsupported steel dome in the world. It still looms large, looking up at the rafters and in the hearts of those who hold memories here. Beauplex technical director Jeff McManus is one of them.
When Elvis performed his last performance here, my dad had gotten some tickets for my mom and myself, and that was the first concert I ever went to in my life.
He was 7 years old.
Do you remember it?
I remember Elvis walking around in his white suit, and he had scarves around his neck, and anytime he got near the front of the stage, all the women would be up there.
McManus started freelancing here fresh out of high school and became a full-time employee 35 years ago.
Do you go up there?
I do go up there, yeah.
Is it scary?
Not as much as I used to.
The venues have housed over 20,000 events through 7 decades, from the likes of Frank Sinatra, Prince, Diana Ross, and Bruce Springsteen, to the circus and various sporting events. The Coliseum even served as a mass vaccination site during the COVID pandemic.
It's more of a feeling, I think, than something I could put in words about how important these buildings are. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of other people that probably feel the same way.
And despite new construction all over Charlotte, McManus says this place is not going anywhere.
Buildings like this, in the day they were built, they were designed to stay forever.
Reporting in Charlotte, Elsa Gillis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.